The Red Dead Online Bounty Hunter update is now 1 week old. That is more than enough time for players to sit down with the new content, play through it, and actually have a proper opinion rather than opinion which is just based on the first couple of seconds of the update's release. So with a week of me playing through this update, I have noted down everything good as well as everything bad that's happened to me and my experience with going through this new content. In that time, I've managed to get all the way to max rank 30 on my Xbox account. I think I'm rank 28 on my PlayStation 5 account, and on top of that, with the Xbox account, I have managed to get an extra 10,000 XP on top of that, which does actually reset, and you can get money and gold as a reward for completing that. And I've done that once so far, and that's just for the Bounty Hunter. I've also managed to get to rank 100 within the Outlaw Pass, managed to do that very quickly, and the last thing that I've done is managed to buy into a lot of the cosmetic items, which include Bounty Hunter as well as some of the weapon variants. So I think with all of this, I can actually give a very good opinion and a good overview of everything that's included. But before I do get into the video, if you do want to talk more in depth about Red Dead Online, maybe even see me play it, maybe even see me play a completely different game, which is Cyberpunk, which is due to release very soon, then there is a link in the description down below which will take you over to the Twitch channel. Normally I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, but with the release of the Red Dead Online update and also Cyberpunk being just around the corner, I have been doing quite a few more streams than usual. So if that is of interest to you, there is a link in the description down below. Just head over to there, drop a follow, and you'll be notified the next time I go live. So getting back into the video, the latest Red Dead Online update is here, and this update doesn't add a new role like we've had with every other previous update that we've had since the summer update in 2019. But in fact, it does bring changes to a previous role in the game, and this is the Bounty Hunter. And you would think that with how bad this year started, with 7 months at the beginning of 2020 where we had no content, players were extremely upset that no matter what content that we would get, players would be happy. But this update did not go down well, and we can very easily tell this by just going over to Rockstar's YouTube. If we look at the 3 latest videos that Rockstar Games have released, this is the Bounty Hunter trailer, this is the Red Dead Online standalone trailer, and also we have the Outlaw Pass trailer. None of these have done particularly well. The Bounty Hunter trailer has 2.2 million views. It did reach a big audience, but does only have a 57% like to dislike ratio. The Red Dead Online standalone trailer had 260,000 views, and this had a 59% like to dislike ratio. What's even worse is the Outlaw Pass. The Outlaw Pass had 208,000 views. This had a 38% like to dislike ratio. Fans were not happy with anything that was released. And you could say that with the Bounty Hunter trailer and also the Red Dead Online standalone, there were more people that were happy about it compared to those that weren't happy about it. And yes, you're right, by 7 and 9%, but that's still not good. So instantly with the release of these trailers, fans weren't happy. And once we do go through some of the negatives, you can actually see why fans weren't happy. So we're going to start with the negatives first. The first thing is that as soon as the update dropped, everything broke. Fans really weren't happy with all of this, and this seems to be a reoccurring theme because the previous update, the Naturalist update, when they released that, everything broke, and they released a patch a week after, and everything broke even more to the point of where you couldn't even load into a lobby for more than a minute because the whole game would just crash. It wasn't as bad this time round, but it did disrupt a lot of players from playing. I always say here on the channel that no matter the game company, no matter the game, whether the game has literally just been released and it's the day 1 of launch, or whether the game has been out for years and years and it's just getting an update, there will always be problems no matter what. But it still doesn't stop fans from being unhappy with it. The second negative is that you do have to pay 15 gold bars to carry on progressing through the Bounty Hunter. I understand that Rockstar need to make money out of content. If they didn't make money, they wouldn't be able to pay for employees to actually work on the content, and therefore there won't be any content to make. But with all the interviews that have been released with Rockstar talking about bringing in improvements and enhancements to previous roles, every single time it sounded like these were just going to be free updates. Updates that you can push to content because you have already bought into this content. Every single player that has got to rank 20 spent gold to get into this role. They ranked up, they put time in, only to spend another 15 gold bars to carry on progressing. This really didn't go down well, especially when the Bounty Hunter at rank 20 and onwards is actually still the exact same Bounty Hunter role which you were doing from rank 1 all the way to rank 20. you're paying 15 gold bars to do the exact same thing. Once you do go and spend those 15 gold bars, you do unlock some more missions. And it does come to a positive later on, because it does seem like Rockstar have put quite a bit of effort into these missions once you break them down. But these missions are actually based off the exact same mechanics as before, nothing's really changed, and those mechanics weren't that fun to begin with. Those 10 ranks as well that you unlock, there's definitely some good stuff in there, but it's not crazy stuff that you just need to spend 15 gold bars just to be able to get it. And this is why a lot of fans aren't happy with this price tag on it. Before the update was released, I did do a video on the channel of some of the most requested features for the Bounty Hunter. One of those features was taking a timer away and just having a set payout for bringing in a bounty dead or alive. Unfortunately, this change was not implemented. The Bounty Hunter payouts are still based on a timer. The longer it takes you to do a mission, the bigger the payout, whether it be XP, money, or gold. And this is one of the most requested features to be changed, and it just wasn't changed. If you rush through any bounty, no matter whether or not it's a tier 1 going all the way up to a legendary bounty, the quicker you complete them, the lower the reward you would get. And sometimes this could just be a couple dollars. So this would involve you to actually wait it out just to get the maximum reward, and this is now classed as action-packed. This whole timer does not add any drama to the role whatsoever. If anything, it takes away. Because where you could very easily go to a bounty location, kill everyone, get that bounty, take them back to the sheriff office, only to do the exact same thing as quickly as possible and start building up some momentum to see how many you can complete within an hour. In fact, no, you actually just get one, wait outside the sheriff office for 5 or 10 minutes just to hand in, just to do the same thing and wait again. In addition to this, there's also no change in gameplay. It's still the same thing. There's new missions added, especially the infamous bounties that you can get within the bounty board, but for a lot of them it is still just go to this location, kill every single gang member, get the bounty, and then just go back. Or you have the other mission type, which is go to a location, inspect a clue, just to go to another location to inspect the clue there, to go to another location to inspect the clue. Oh, now you found the bounty and he's all by himself, not even gonna put up much of a fight. The whole thing is very slow paced and very repetitive, and it's always been that way. This hasn't changed with this update. It's just been expanded on. Now there's more missions to do the exact same thing, even though those features weren't particularly enjoyable for a lot of players. So those are the negatives for me with the Bounty Hunter. The biggest thing for me is that there's no change in gameplay. With every role that we've had, it's brought in new mechanics to the game. And I always thought when they went back to go and change out some of the previous roles that they would add just one mechanic and bring some other missions around that mechanic. But they haven't. It's the exact same thing, and for me, I've never particularly enjoyed the mechanics that were there for the Bounty Hunter in the first place. So whenever they were going to expand that and do the exact same thing around those mechanics, personally, I was never going to enjoy it. And that is just for the Bounty Hunter. There is some other stuff within the game that irritates me. Firstly, I'm the same as all of you. I hate the new daily challenges. There is no point of why this has been reduced. Daily challenges were perfectly fine. They've changed the streaks to be capped at 28 days, and if that wasn't enough, they've also reduced how much gold you can get per daily challenge and reduced it by 50%. When this was first announced, I did do a video breaking down all the maths, and I did say that you would lose around about a third of your gold for doing the exact same amount of daily challenges as you were doing before. But we never took into consideration that Rockstar would also halve how much gold you can get per daily challenge. So you're actually losing a lot more. More than 50% of your gold has just gone for doing the exact same daily challenges now as what you was doing a month ago. The economy was completely unbalanced within the game, but I always hoped that Rockstar would bring in some more items which can be charged for gold, and then those players that have got a lot of gold now have some stuff to buy. But Rockstar Games saw it the complete other way, and I still think we're going to have the exact same problem. With this update as well, Rockstar didn't just reduce how much gold that you are able to make from daily challenges, but they've also increased how much gold you would have to pay for different items, as well as money. And there are some very weird ones in here. The bolos that you can buy, they're not bought with gold, they're actually bought with cash, but I still don't see the point of actually buying into them. No matter which bolos you use, they're still the exact same, they still have the exact same feature. And it doesn't actually matter what they look like because they're so small that you can't even see the aesthetics when you're actually using them, and when you do throw them, you don't care because you're limited to the amount of time that that NPC is just wiggling on the floor trying to escape the bolos until they do actually escape. So you're running over to hogtie them as quickly as possible. Doesn't make sense. So those are the negatives that I've noted down with this update. But believe it or not, there are some positives. The first positive is legendary bounties. Legendary bounties have always been good, and I think history now shows that whenever there's a weekly update where we do get a mission of this type, players are very happy. We've seen this when the Bounty Hunter was first released and we got 10 legendary bounties for 10 weeks. We then saw this again when we did go and get the legendary animal missions. Now with this time, we've got some more legendary bounties. This does go down very well for weekly content. True, it doesn't last long and the replayability isn't high, but it is incredibly fun to go through and they are very good stories. I wouldn't say that any of the legendary bounties that we're having this time, even though not all of them have been released at the time of recording this video, as well as any of the legendary bounties that we had previous to this or any of the legendary animal missions are bad. All of them are very good, going up to absolutely amazing. The other positive is the infamous bounties. Each bounty board now has an infamous bounty story, which is broken down into 3 parts. Once you complete all 3 parts, you can actually get a very nice reward, and it is also a decent story for being within free roam. There is a lot of these stories as each bounty board it does have this broken down into 3 parts. So there's 13 bounty boards across the whole of Red Dead Online, so there are 39 different missions just for these infamous bounties. If you were to go through them, that's going to take you quite a bit of time, especially that there is a break in between each mission that you do. So you can't argue here that Rockstar haven't put effort into these. My only problem with them is that it does link to the negatives that I was talking about earlier, which is the repetitive nature of the Bounty Hunter of you doing the exact same thing no matter the mission. The other thing is that these missions do pay a higher rate compared to the other bounties, especially when you complete all 3 parts as you'll get an extra bonus at the end. But unfortunately, just like every other bounty, this links to the other negative that I was talking about earlier. It is still linked to the timer. So the longer it takes you to do these missions, the more gold, money and XP you get, which definitely takes away from the action pact of what the bounty hunter could be, because now you're actually just sitting around waiting because you want to get the maximum reward, where in fact you could have very easily completed these missions, a set payout, go into them, complete them, and then instantly go into the next one in a different bounty board. This just involves you having a lot of waiting around. So I am classing the infamous bounties as a positive. There is a lot there, Rockstar have obviously put effort in. The only issue is that it's linking to negatives that were already there. And this is something that fans have been complaining about for a very long time, and they were hoping that this would be one of the changes for the Bounty Hunter. But moving on to the Outlaw Pass. I've seen a lot of people complaining about this, and the Outlaw Pass, when we looked at the trailer earlier at the beginning of the video, was the most disliked out of all of them. It had the worst like to dislike ratio. And with this, I don't get it. Yes, it does cost 40 gold bars, there's 100 ranks, and with everything else within this update, Rockstar have increased the price. But this is still a very good deal, even if you don't use half the stuff that's in there. Yes, it does cost 40 gold bars, but you do get 30 gold bars back in free gold bar rewards, as there is 10 of them, and on top of that, there is also a treasure map, which on average gives you around 1 gold bar. So you're now looking at this and you're seeing that for everything, 100 ranks, every single reward in here only costs 9 gold bars. And this is worth it. If you gave me the option to spend 9 gold bars for 100 ranks of rewards, plus also the entertainment of ranking up, or the option to spend 21 gold bars on the Lamat Revolver variant, I'm going to pick the 100 rank Outlaw Pass every single time. So for those of you that were upset about the Outlaw Pass, I would say you just hated on it for the sake of hating on the update. There is quite a lot of bad things with this update. The Outlaw Pass isn't one of them. In fact, within any of the previous updates that we've had with Outlaw Passes, none of them have been bad. Yes, I prefer some more than others because they have rewards which tend more to the things that I like doing. This is still a very, very good deal. And Rockstar also do bonus and benefits where you can actually get even more gold out of this. So even though it's expired on the 1st of December to the 7th of December, you are actually able to get an extra 10 gold bars if you bought into the Outlaw Pass. So once you work that out, you're actually getting paid 1 gold bar to actually buy into this. Now that deal has gone, but there probably will be other deals in the future because Rockstar always do something towards the final 2 weeks of an Outlaw Pass expiring to get players to buy into it to get ready for the next content that's about to come. So I don't understand the hate on the Outlaw Pass. Another thing that I like is the new customization that you can have for wagons. Now for the bounty hunting wagon, I don't actually use it too much. In most cases, if I'm playing by myself, there's no way that I'm going for a 6-man bounty, because there's no way that I physically by myself can get every single person and get them in the back of a bounty hunting wagon. Likewise, if I do have a full posse, at that point there's no point in me using a bounty hunting wagon because we could all individually just stow the bounties on the back of our horses. So I rarely ever use it. But this is a system that can be used for every single vehicle that we get in the future. Rockstar have already added a button to the hunting wagon. There's no liveries to actually change yet, but there will be. It would be a very simple system for Rockstar to go and move over. All they need to do is go and change out the textures for each individual 3D model, which is actually the easy part out of 3D modeling. And then the other thing, and probably my favorite thing, because Rockstar have now made it worth going through a role even once you hit max rank. Once you get to max rank 30, you would actually unlock an award within your progress tab. This award requires you to get 10,000 XP, but once you do get 10,000 XP, you can trade that in to get 50 gold nuggets, $100, and 500 XP. Now that's not crazy rewards, but in a lot of cases, Rockstar do give weekly updates where if you do something in particular, you will get a bonus in XP for certain roles. The problem is if you are a hardcore player and you've managed to get to max rank within that role, you don't get any of the XP, which benefits all the low-level players who have only just started but don't give any benefit to the hardcore players. This now benefits you. My issue is that they've only added it to the Bounty Hunter, the role that I like the least. I'm not actually going to be going through it too many times, but once they start getting around to adding this to the Collector, the Trader, the Naturalist, and the Moonshiner, this is where things start to get a bit better because you can actually focus on the role that you enjoy playing the most, still get rewarded for it even once you get to max rank, and you can get gold, money, and XP. Even if it isn't a crazy amount, the benefit here is that you're actually just getting rewarded for playing the role that you enjoy playing. And this is just an extra little thing on top. I would have loved for Rockstar just to add this feature to the other roles just for now, even if they do plan to go and expand them within the next update or in a future update, just so we can all focus on what we want to do and carry on getting rewarded for it. But I guess for now, this will actually do. It's probably the feature that it's very, very small, but probably will have a huge benefit to me for how much I actually play this game. But there is my honest review of this Red Dead Online update. I've seen videos of people absolutely crapping all over Rockstar to say that they've put no effort in and it's completely lazy. I wouldn't go as far to say that because there is actually more content here than what we had for the Moonshiner this time last year. If we compare updates during the year to what was happening in the previous year, you can start to see that things are growing. I do think, however, that Rockstar have ignored a lot of player feedback. Some of the most requested features that could have been added to the Bounty Hunter role, which could have made it 1,000 times better, just haven't been added. And this is the thing that makes it disappointing, because for me, the Bounty Hunter was never enjoyable. It never had fun action mechanics. It was always go to this location, find a clue, or go to this location, kill the gang members, get the bounty and take it back. It was very easy stuff to do. I think there could have been some extra stuff that was added within the game that could have made it a lot better. And it just seems like Rockstar must have seen those options because it was highly requested features and they just ignored it just to expand what was already within the game that players weren't particularly enjoying. But all of this is just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now that you've had a week to play through the new Bounty Hunter update, are you now enjoying it, or are you in the exact same position as what you were on day one where you just don't like it? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you do want to talk more in depth about anything Red Dead Online, or even talk about Cyberpunk as that is now about to release, then there is a link in the description down below which will take you over to the Twitch channel. Head over to there, drop a follow, and you'll be notified the next time I go live. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going, so see ya.